approached you at a bar and started talking to you. And I thought this was just me thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in? And I don't even need the drink, but like the last time, and I'll go up and talk to guys, but like can someone explain?
According to one of my guy friends, and I want to know if this is true, and I don't know if all men believe this or the men that I want to date believe this or who believes in this, but according to one of my guy friends, he said the man that you want to date, which is a traditional man, is not going to be interested in you because you are so career driven. And for me, that kind of blew my mind because I was just like, well, why wouldn't the man that I want to date not want me to work? And he said, well, Bailey, the traditional man is going to want you to drop what you're doing, and he's going to want you to, nurture the family. He's going to want you to clean the house. He's going to want you to cook. He's going to want you to do this. And if you are working, you're not going to want to do all that. You're going to come home with an attitude. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to this, you're going to that. So you're not going to want to. I was like, no, I still would. He's like, no, you wouldn't. He's like, and plus, and if a guy is asking you like what your goals are, and you're talking about how you want to continue to go back to school and you want to do this and you want to do that, they're not hearing that you want to, they're not hearing that you want to nurture your family. And I was like, but I mean, I thought it was like a given that, hey, I'm a nurse. Of course, like I'm a nurturer and I'm going to take care of my family. But in the meantime, while, we don't have kids, is it not attractive that I have a career going for me? Or I don't know. I thought that was so odd, and I've never heard that before. Because when someone asks me like, oh, like, what are your goals? Like, of course I'd love to be a mom. Of course I'd love to take care of my family, of course. But aren't they asking me like what my current goals are? Like, I didn't know they were talking about like the future. I'm talking about like right now. Like, I'm talking about how I want to like be the best nurse, and I want to be able to take care of people like efficiently and quickly, and I want to be able to be the like person that people turn to and know that like I'm that person that is going to get it done and I'm going to take care of them. Is that not also saying like that I'm a nurturer? That of course I would take care of my family? I don't know. That kind of like threw me because he was saying, well, Bailey, when you get pregnant and you have kids, like, why would you try to work? I'm like, well, I want to maintain my skills. Like, I worked so hard to get here. And of course, my family would be my number one priority. But, like, what about when all the kids are out of the nest? Like, what am I going to do then? Like, for me, it gives me purpose as a nurse to take care of others. Like, I love that. I love doing what I do. Yeah, it's stressful, but gosh, I love it. Like, does the type of man I want really not want me doing that? Like, that's what I thought was so weird. Like, guys, is this true? Woman, have you been told this before? Like, is this your experience? Because that threw me for, I don't even know the saying, but that threw me off. Like, of course I would love on my family. Of course I would take care of my family. Of course I would do everything it took to make sure that my family was comfortable, that food was on the table, that everything was clean, that everything was sanitary. But I guess me saying that I want to go back to school, that I want to give back to the community, that I want to do this, is that a turnoff to the man that I want? Does that make him not hear that I'm going to be a great mom? I don't know. Like that totally threw me off. Like, is that just like his point of view? Or is this really like the type of traditional man that I want's point of view? Because he was like saying it generalized. So that's what's like totally throwing me off. I have no idea. I don't know. What do you guys think?
We really need to start being politer and more respectful when we reject these men. Now, while I am not justifying a single mad thing men do, I do think as women we need to be aware that we are contributing to the toxicity of this dating environment. Being nicer would take us a long way. And I'm not talking about men nice where they're like, smile. Right, baby, leave me alone. I am talking about a man who is not your type for whatever reason approaching you because he thinks you are attractive, beautiful, look good, whatever the word is. And a lot of women's response to that is very rude, it's very dismissive, it's very patronizing. Now, no individual wants to be embarrassed, full stop, period. But men are created with such pride and ego, even if they don't always show it, that kind of humiliation can affect a man differently. And we have seen this play out in the extreme on the news and social media where women are getting killed, fisted up, followed, attacked for not giving a man their number and, being polite about it, trying to diffuse the situation. I am not talking about that. All the men in those situations absolutely need to be buried underneath the jail cell. Like, to be clear, you are crazy. Nobody owes you anything. And that woman must have clearly had discernment to not want to give you her number because clearly you was fucking doolally. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sane men, not the crazy men. But women, there are a lot of us who, when these men who are sane and just have positive intentions in terms of find us attractive and want to move things forwards with us, there is a way that we are interacting which is making those men walk away feeling small. And nobody should be feeling small when their intention to speak to you was positive. Because whether or not you want to pursue things with that man is approaching you because he thinks you're attractive. That is a positive thing. Well, at least it's not a negative thing. But what we don't realize happens is a lot of men, especially when they're younger, they experience these negative interactions when they're trying to pursue women who are not interested in them. And the shame and the humiliation of the interaction, because of the way a lot of times the woman has handled it, leaves him feeling upset, angry, hurt. Shake that around, add a pinch of bitterness, and boom, you have the red pill community. Side note, I didn't even know what the red pill community was until a couple of days ago. I think I still don't know what it is. What is it? Just like men who hate women and just think they're better than women. Okay. But yeah, men won't tell you, but a lot of them are shaped by this interaction, and their anger and hatred towards women often stem from these kind of interactions. And women will operate like this and wonder why men don't like women and men hate women. And yes, I don't think it's a full-blown justifiable reason. However, it doesn't stop it being a reason just because I don't necessarily agree with it. And I always think there's accountability on both sides. So men, I think you need to get therapy if you feel like this. Like, you genuinely are letting pain, rage direct your life. That's can't be good for you. Also, there's just nothing wrong with being a positive person and having positive interactions with people and not making people feel bad about themselves, especially when their intention was to compliment you. And just also to our sisters who have lost their lives at the hands of these kind of men, women, we need to be aware that some of these men are crazy. They have fucking lost it. Let me be real. So I would just always is that how you say it? On the side of safety. That's the truth. Mental and physical. Because whether or not these men should be doing it, of course we know they shouldn't be being violent because they're rejected. They shouldn't be being abusive. They are. Like, they actually are. So we need to be careful. And again, I'm not justifying the psychos, like the crazy people. I'm a woman myself. I'm scared of them too. But what I am saying is there's nothing wrong with when you're engaging with the gender that you actually want to date, even if you don't want to date that specific man. There's nothing wrong with putting positivity out there. There's nothing wrong with putting good energy out there, because I definitely feel like the dating game currently has like a very dark cloud over it. And I think both men and women need to work on that. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the vitriol against women in this day and age is from a place of men's hurt. That's the truth. So let's be a bit nicer to them when we can, ladies, and avoid the crazy ones. And the crazy ones, please avoid us. Amen. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule for best results, assuming it's not you.
Why don't they pursue girls like they used to? And it boiled down to one simple fact: the fear of frickin' rejection. That is horrible. And it's also confidence. Like, you could be the most handsome fly guy, but if you don't have confidence, you're done ski. So I think a lot of guys don't chase girls because they don't have the confidence, and then the fear of getting rejected just kills it all.
Most women go to bars and clubs to reject men to kind of like have their revenge at the last man that did them dirty. Like, I've seen it so many times. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say I get rejected, but I be seeing just random guys in the bars and the clubs, they get rejected. I'm like, no weird shit, but these guys ain't ugly. And then sometimes when I'm standing near them, I hear the conversation. I'm like, no, this is going the way it's going. Like, this a vibe. I could tell they vibing, and a woman would still reject them. And I only know why some women go out to reject men is because it makes them feel good. They really feel like they're getting a get back, even though they're not getting back at the last dude or dudes that played them. They're just making somebody else feel bad. And these women kind of have a look to them too, but sometimes you could be wrong. So if you see a woman shooting her shot at you with the little eye thing, listen, don't be afraid to pull up and approach, all right? You miss the shot, so you don't take, all right? Don't miss that shot, but just...
Hear me out. So, I think that guys have decided to not be as gentlemanly or chivalrous because a lot of feminists have pulled the I can do anything, I can do whatever a man can, but the point is we can't. Like, of course I agree with equal pay and stuff like that, but a lot of women are pushing this crap down men's throats, and I think it's really ruining a lot of men and the way they feel about women. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
They're not pursuing them anymore. They don't know what they have to do to get a man to pursue them. But listen, let me tell you something. Dating has changed so much post Me Too era. Men, especially younger generations of men, Gen Z, millennial generations, they are not going to pursue women the same way that they pursued women in the past because they don't want to come off as creepy, weird, whatever. Dating has changed. If you are a woman and you want a man, you are going to have to put some effort in. They're not going to chase you like they used to. Or it's not. Especially if you're dating in the Gen Z millennial range. Like, you're going to have to put some work in if you want a man. They're not going to be calling you, showing up to your house with flowers. That's just creepy now.